Okay. Let's look at this board and go through the teams and go through these teams one by one. So these are the teams. Okay, Team Secret, I'm okay with that. Brand new roster. Yes, it didn't do too well, but definitely worth an invite. Still got a large amount of players left, so that's perfectly alright. Team Liquid, no question there. They are one, if not the top team in the world. Yes, they got beaten by Wings, but they're no doubt with the invite. EG, we haven't seen anything with their new roster, but reports are they're doing really well, and it's still EG, they're still the winners of TI, and they still have a large amount of their original roster. So there's no question with that one. Now, MVP is an interesting choice. I don't think I've really got too... Hang on, that's not going to be the... Yeah. Why the fuck did they put MVP in this? Just fuck it, we'll just do this. Okay, that works. Yep, cure. Alright, so all I want is recent results. Okay. Dota Pit Season 4. Now, they won this one. They got a really good position at the Shanghai Major. Fourth at the Shanghai Major. So these guys, just off those two results, are through. No doubt about it. In fact, there should actually be something which is more clean cut. No, I'm actually gonna fucking turn that music off. Yeah, so this should actually be pretty much like very clean cut when it comes to, like, if you get top 4 in the previous major, you're coming. No doubt at all. In fact, normally you should say if you got the top 6, you have a direct invite, and this is 100%. That is the way it should be. And then you could have the extra 2 invites. It's almost like your wildcard invites. That's perfectly alright. So MVP, again, no issue with them. Wings, with their recent win at ESL, there is no real doubt in my mind that they deserve an invite. They proved themselves on a big stage. Definitely deserve an invite. The same could be said for Fnatic. Actually, like, even if we don't, like, we look at like Wings results, what do you got? We've got H Cup series, and we're not really going to count the stuff which is before that because it's just completely different. But the fact they 3-0'd out Team Liquid and they played Dota at the level they played at ESL 1, 100%, even off the back of just one result, ESL 1 really did mean that much. So I'm perfectly alright with them coming. Let's move on to VG Gaming. Which is now, like, VG Gaming, it's actually their main squad now. VG Gaming Reborn, I believe, were renamed to be VG Gaming, but it looks like Team Liquid are still keeping them under the VGR. Now, FY, look at this fucking results. Like, there's so much yellow just stretching through that. Since 2016, they started their first victory in the H Cup series. They keep doing these all the time. Just Starlight Invitational, they beat Na'Vi 3-1. They beat them. You know, I'm going to put this in a new tab because we're going to come back to this in a moment. And their H Cup, who gives a fuck about the end one? But, like, their Chinese qualifier was okay, but they did win a major LAN event and they played terrific Dota. Worth an invite out of all the other options you have from China. So Wings and VGR, no problems at all. We go to Fnatic. Now, Fnatic, what a team. They look so strong. But you have to think about, okay, wait. No, just fucking Fnatic. Normal Fnatic, thank you. Okay, so they got 34th place at ESL 1 Manila. That was great. They got through the group stages into the semi-finals. That was fine. Not huge results. Like Shanghai Major, they still got 5 to 6. That's good. And that's kind of where I would say, you know what? They're still good. They're still worth the invite. So MVP and Fnatic, they still get through the front door, in my opinion, because they got top 6 at the major. So this is fine. Their team looks strong. Without Mushi, they still perform fairly well, with 3-4-3 standing in for them. With Mushi, who knows what they could do. They're still worth an invite. Now, OG, these guys get invited to... Wait, really? Let me guess. There's too many results to come up. Nope, there we go. These guys have been invited to almost everything. They haven't qualified for anything in so long because they can just slip their way through. Now, 4th Star Ladder is well beneath them. They could definitely do more than that. They got 5th to 8th at Dota Pit, 7th to 8th at the Shanghai Major, which pushed them outside of my top 6 area. And then you've got like the other results, like 4th at the Summit, 3rd at Mars TV. None of this has really been big. Like their last big thing they won was the Frankfurt Major, and I don't think we're really going to count Dream League Season 4. Sorry. Yeah, and same with the defense, like Season 2. Like those events are almost on the same level. But yeah, so OG haven't been looking amazingly good at all. The old patch just wasn't their thing. They haven't really proven that they should come in, but then you toss it up and you say, well, okay, is it a regional based thing? Like, do they deserve to come because they did still win a major? So you still give them a little bit of respect for that one. Yes, maybe they sit on the edge. Now that you have 12 invites, you can say yes, OG should be coming. But if you had 8, fuck no. OG would never get an invite. It would not happen. So the fact that we now have 12 invites is almost like Valve making it so that they don't have to sit there and go, hang on. If we don't invite this person, all their fans can be really, really angry and people are going to get mad at us. And because we're doing an invite system, we can't really back it up with actual fact. It's only our thoughts and our feelings for inviting teams. There might be some logic behind it, but unless we write all this stuff down, then no one's really going to understand it. Are we really going to write all this stuff down for everyone to say, okay, this is the reason why we chose so-and-so team? No, because this is Valve. They are not going to do such a thing. So OG get an invite because we have 12. Complexity, they also go through the door now. I didn't really have too many doubts about Complexity. Complexity, again, like you can go back to... okay, are you... Where's my results? Where's my results? There we go. So Shanghai Major, they're in the 5th to 6th. Again, gives me an okay thing. Like you slip them through. They got defeated by EG. That's just what happens. But they still got 5 to 6 at the Shanghai Major. Dota Pit performance wasn't too bad. It wasn't great. It was still 3rd to 4th. And ESL1 Manila was also a little bit off. They haven't really won anything major since the major. But the major 5-6 is still enough for them that they would get an invite. And this is one of the teams where it actually helps that there was 12 invites to slip them through, because it could be a question mark. Like if we only had, like we had to get down to the last invite of 8, that was between OG and Complexity, you would take Complexity. Just, even though they're not a major winner, their recent performances are just stronger. So it's nice to see Complexity get through. Now we come into the fun pool. The Alliance. Hi Alliance. Now, these guys kicked back into the scene pretty hard when they won their WCA. That was when S4 was almost dying of, the plague, playing down in China. And then they kicked in, then they won the Star Ladder Series. Now, all of this, obviously, between the majors, it's actually not that bad. Then they get 7th, 8th at the Shanghai Major. Now, this is where you start to question, should Alliance be there or not? They're another one of these guys that because of the 12 invites, they're able to get through. They would have been on the edge and they would have been cut. As far as your top 3 Western teams go, it's Secret, it's Liquid, it's EG. You then would have had MVP and Fnatic come through. You're already at 5 of your 8. Then you've got to have your Chinese teams. Wings and VGR are the top 2 at the moment. And of course, then you're sitting with one last one. So juggle it up wherever the fuck you want to go. So Alliance should be feeling very, very lucky they got themselves through. A lot of Alliance fanboys will say they obviously should have been going there at the same time, but the beauty of being a fanboy, you should have to actually talk about logic. Navi. Navi. Okay. So, this is a team which everyone keeps questioning if they're back. And we're never certain if they actually are. They look like they're back, and then they're not back. Then they play absolutely terrible Dota, and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? Okay. Do we not have results? I have to go in here. Okay, I'll have to go into here. Okay, and they haven't separated anything at all. Okay, that's not too terrific. Can I not have the 2016 results? Well, that's kind of crap. Guys in the chat, is there an easy link to this shit? Like, I don't even want all these achievements. I don't care about these achievements right now. All I want is their recent results. The most recent result we have is labeled for 2015 for this Na'Vi team. Maybe they no, it's definitely this roster. Yeah, go to Dendy's page. Love your ideas. Beautiful. Okay, so Na'Vi wins. They got second at Star Ladder. Not bad. The fourth at Dota Pit. They went through a hard bracket, but technically, if you look at that, they lost to some of the top teams, but they also, like, those teams also lost to everyone else. And it was this big, oh my god, it worked at LAN, and it almost felt like Na'Vi didn't win it themselves. It was the other teams who were making severe mistakes in the way they were playing, and then it was obviously just before the roster changes came in, so it was good, but I don't know if it's instantly worth a major invite to say because you get third, fourth. An invite into the qualifier, most definitely. So what have you got before that? Like, you got to go back to like 2015. So you just invited a team that only got victories in 2016. One of them was started at second place. How much is that really worth? Apart from $12,000, which is showing in the winnings. Is that enough that you can say, Na'Vi, you are directly invited over all the other potential teams in Dota 2? That's a fucking hard call. That's why I'm just there. Like, when I see Na'Vi gets invited, I'm like, okay, are you just wanting viewership? Are you wanting the Filipino fans to come out in hordes just because you know Na'Vi is going to be there? So you ensure all the brands, so you ensure viewership? Or are you here to make sure that you've selected the right teams? This is the incredibly large downside about saying, you're coming, as opposed to going, because you want this, you're coming to that. Let's go to our last team before I go full tilt. LGD Gaming. Wonderful team, led by Zhao Wei. Very difficult to say no to a team that's led by Zhao Wei. As far as their recent results, LGD, so this really is that question mark time, isn't it? It really fucking is. Okay, so Starlight at third position. I just want to, like, just look at some of these results. So this WCA qualifiers is all we've got for fucking LGD. Okay, so back it up. LGD versus Na'Vi from Star Ladder. Okay, so now you've also just invited a Chinese team who got third position at Star Ladder. You've invited the top 4 out of Star Ladder. Did it mean that much? No. It's a good question. Before I try and answer it, I'm going to say something very positive about the team. It is almost impossible for me to say, you know what? I don't think LGD could win a tournament, because that would be fucking bonkers. It would be stupid if anyone said such a thing. LGD, like, that lineup is so damn good. It's also because I'm a slightly biased fan towards Zhao Wei. But that lineup just looks so damn good that it's funny that they are the third Chinese team that slips through the cracks. And again, a team that would never have made it if we only had 8 invites. So this is how I'm going to wrap this thing up, because I'm actually going to put this as a VOD over on my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch this shit later, you can. Hope it doesn't get flagged for the music before. So simply to put down, I almost feel like the fact that we only have 4 teams coming in through the qualifier is a travesty. The dream has always been teams being able to build themselves up, come into the main event, and then prove themselves. And we've seen this becoming even better and better as Dota has gone on. In the original days, this was terrible because a lot of the original teams were maybe tier 3, tier 4 teams that would qualify in and then just get slaughtered when they hit the main event. Now, this is like not really the case anymore. There's a lot of other teams which are coming in with new and inventive strats at high level play, and they prove themselves in these events. And again, we go back to what I was saying before, OG, they are a team that prove you can do exactly that. They won a major to come all the way through the qualifier. This is the kind of storyline you also want to have and the opportunities that you want to give the teams and the community of Dota 2. Now, with the big invites, now we've only got 4 teams from all the qualifiers. What does that do to the qualifiers? Makes it a fuck ton harder, and also makes the qualifiers, I don't want to say less interesting to watch, because technically it adds more like pressure to it, but there's so many matches going on that it doesn't matter how much pressure there is. You're just going to come in and you're going to check one team and they're the ones who won. Brilliant. Did I see a picture of them on the screen? No, I didn't, because hey, it's an online qualifier, competitive environments, joke galore. So it's like, okay, brilliant, you've ripped your qualifier out, you've invited a crap more teams, there's no reasoning which is explained when these teams are just released. Like, all it is literally a web page. Like, this is the page right here. Let me put it on the screen for you. Yeah, so this is the page right here. Welcome to Major Manila, this is the date, blah 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 blah, these are the teams, and these are the teams coming into the regional qualifier. Okay, interesting. Buy your tickets, register now. How much do I know about this? And this is where you wonder yourself, and the teams can sit there and they wonder, how am I going to qualify for a major? And there is no simple answer. The only answer you have is impress Valve. That's it. There's no minors to build up. There's no actual qualifier for this event outside the open qualifiers. So normally with tournaments, you'll have like an open qualifier which goes into a main event qualifier, and then you have direct invites. This is the way almost every tournament around the world will work, or you have a way where you can actually justify the invites in. Like, I remember I presented something about this. I don't know where I wrote it or where I videoed it or put something down like this when the major system first came out. I'm like, okay, so what have you done? You've built like major, international. This is the system. This is the hierarchy. Everything else, put a blanket on it. It's about to be smothered, and it's terrible. So then you want to have like normally in a system, like you'll have like major, international, and then you have minor, and these minors will allow you to like earn your position into the major directly and give some level of justification for it. And then you do the same all across the board. And then the minors, the different positions you get, allow you to actually go all the way up and say, you know what, these guys deserve an invite, or they deserve to be in this stage of a qualifier. This doesn't exist in Dota because everything is done off basically blind invite system where you never know what you're going to get. And this, yeah, I don't know. I'm on the edge of tilt. I'm not going to tilt. I'm going to actually at least close up the VOD of this thing. But God, I wish we had a different system which we knew what the fuck was going on. That's pretty much all. Sigh. Alright, so invites out. Say goodbye to that thing. We're gonna go back to streaming. And thanks for people on the VOD. Hope you enjoyed it.